Welcome one, welcome all, a mid-week conference matchup between the Pioneers of Carroll and the Firebirds of Carthage College. Hello everybody, live from Tarble Arena in Kenosha, Wisconsin on the beautiful lakefront of Lake Michigan. I'm Peter Ferreri alongside my broadcast colleague this evening, Jill Ryczek. Jill, both these teams coming in today with only 2 losses, but boy oh boy has Carroll played a lot of volleyball, 13-2 overall. Win after win after win after, did I mention win? They have a lot of momentum coming into tonight's broadcast. Looking back, they have not lost since September the 4th against Loras College in Dubuque. So that is quite a little win streak they've been on, a lot of momentum coming into tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be the team to beat tonight. Not only is this Carthage's first conference play of the season, but also, like you mentioned last week, you know, one of their losses was last week, and they played Concordia, and Coach Ulmer said they didn't really look like themselves, and she said we need to go back to the drawing board and figure something out and see what's going on and why we keep losing. Again, they're 0-2 at home, so they've yet to win here in Tarble Arena. So I'm interested to see what Coach Ulmer said and if they can figure out what to do tonight to win.
Yeah, you bring up a great point right now with such a differential, 13-5 in terms of win differences, but with those 2 losses, just more volume. Now there's 2 ways to look at it. Okay, Carroll has fine-tuned their team, repetition, but there also could be some early season fatigue, some tweaks, some bruises, and Carthage could come in as a more fresh team if you look at it in that circumstance. As for the Firebirds, again, we stated their last game played was a week ago today. Yep. That was a 3-1 loss against Concordia, Wisconsin. Now, let it be noted, the last time they lost was also at home Wednesday, September the 4th. That was a sweep against University of Chicago. Let's talk about this really quickly, Jill. Coach Ulmer, a different tone after their loss versus Chicago, after their loss versus Concordia. After their loss versus Chicago, more of an upbeat, lighthearted, okay, hey, we played close, we went the distance. They just came out with our number at the very end. I think because it was a week later and she was still seeing potentially some of the same mistakes against that Concordia squad, I am sure this team has been in the gym this past week.
Yeah, I'm sure. Following that loss from Chicago, she was a little more upbeat because it was their first loss at home and it was still early on in the season, so she was able to see what was going on with the team and find those faults within the team and try to correct them early on. But then most recently, a week ago, it was kind of the same mistakes, and you know, it's a big thing with their errors, and that's what they've been doing in practice, is limiting those errors and trying to figure out what's going wrong. And I think just because it was 2 weeks in a row at home that they still have yet to come out with a win in Tarble Arena, she's getting a little more frustrated and a little less patient with them. And yeah, I'm sure practice was hard this week.
Looking at the attacking front of Carroll, they've done such a good job at the service line. 20 aces for number 4, Maggie McGough. That is a huge number from the service line. Right behind her is Deppies with 12 service aces. One thing that the Firebirds have done is they've allowed the other team to get their serves in, but more times than not forcing error. But looking for the Carroll side, that's got to be pretty optimistic that overall on the season they have, in terms of service aces, already 124 service aces. That's a lot of aces.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the things that Carthage sometimes tends to struggle with, is returning those serves. So tonight that'll be super important. If you're Carthage, you want to stay on your toes at all times and really just focus on where the ball is going and go to that ball quickly. Don't let the ball come to you. You have to go to the ball and really try to return those serves.
We're going to turn it over now to Eric Gallagher, the PA announcer for the national anthem and introductions. We'll be back momentarily on the broadcast. Firebirds, Pios coming your way. CCIW action on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
Representatives or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. The CCIW has many traditions, but bad behavior isn't one of them. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe and positive game environment. Respect, it's the name of the game. between the Carroll University and Carthage College. At this time, please direct your attention to the American flag located at the north end of the arena. It draped the coffin of Captain Frank Favre, a former Carthage student who died in Vietnam in 1970. The flag is a gift to the college from his parents. In remembering Captain Favre, we pay tribute to all who have sacrificed their lives for our country and honor those who today put themselves in harm's way in service to America. And now at this time, please rise
And welcome into the Firebird Broadcasting Network, once again live from Tarble Arena in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Peter Ferreri alongside Jill Ryczek. Starting lineups have been announced. Jill, it should be a good one. The visiting Pioneers wearing their road blues with orange numbers and letters, white trim. The home Firebirds in one of their 3 uniforms, this time wearing the home whites with red numbers and letters and a black trim. Going to be heading left to right. Jill, talk us through the starting lineup.
Well, first I want to mention here we have 4 seniors in the starting lineup for Carthage, which is important to mention because Carroll only has 1 senior in their starting lineup, which is Rebecca Andre. So I think that upperclassmen for Carthage roster will really impact their game tonight because of just all the leadership all around on the court. Again, there's 4 seniors, so that leadership is really important for Carthage, and I know it means a lot to them and the younger classmen on their team to have those role models to look up to.
Yeah, it's always good to have somebody to look up to on that front. So we're about to get underway again. The Pios 13-2, Carthage 5-2. But in a lot of ways, take the record, throw it out the arena. It is the first time of conference play right here from Tarble Arena. We're excited to have you with us on this Wednesday evening. And we're underway. Serve. Off the tip, picked up in the back row. Let's see how composed the Firebirds team is. I'm sure they have a lot to prove this evening. Not going to start out there. Big tool off to the side. Kylie Wittenbell, the Oppo hitter from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, opening kill of the evening. Last time these 2 teams met, a Carthage sweep, October the 21st of last year. They start out with a point, tying it at 1-1. Look at this number, 25-12, 25-19, then the third one went to extras, 26-25. The Pios have only beat the Firebirds once. And that was a long time ago in 2001. Were you even born yet?
Not yet, still 2 years ago.
Okay. So Jill wasn't even born yet. So 2001, and it was a 3-2 victory in 5 sets. Ever since then, it has been all Carthage. Off the tip. Bell, quick set over the middle, this time Boston. Bell sets all the way to the far pin. High back set now for Carroll. Double block. That stays in. Point goes to the Pios. They're tied up at 2 apiece. Now, let it be said, yes, the last time these 2 teams met in Waukesha last year was a sweep, but the time before 3-1 back in 2022, and in 2021 it went to a full 5 set. So let's see how the Pios can pick things up. McGough, the libero in the no-sleeve orange. That's going to the back row and stays in. Pulling her arms back with a smile is Katie Rowe.
That was good placement by Katie. I don't know if she knew that it was going to stay in bounds, but as for Carroll, I think they just had to follow that a little bit too closely, and they just expected it to go out.
Yeah, take it any way you can. So looking at the jersey differentials, you have Carthage with the long sleeve. You have Carroll with the no sleeve, but the sleeves. Did you have a playing preference, or what were your jerseys?
We just had short sleeves. We didn't have
short sleeves. Okay, so you were in between.
Yes.
You couldn't commit if you wanted the
No.
full sleeve, so you just went halfway. Got it. A lot of teams as well doing this long sleeve version, or doing the bump pads on the forearms.
I like the full long sleeves better, though. It's better to play in.
Ooh, that stays in. That's just a little bit of miscommunication.
Yep.
Coach Ulmer's not going to be happy about that one. Those are what we talked about in the pregame, Jill, those
Yep.
small mental lapses
Yeah.
you can't let happen if you want to come out victorious.
Yeah. In that situation, either both of them called it and they just didn't want to collide with each other, or neither of them called it.
Back set slide. Pass to the near pin. Good job getting underneath it is Damon, one of the best liberos in the CCIW. Wouldn't be surprised if she gets some all-conference nods this year at the position. High off the double block. Rolled it over. From the 10-foot line, back row, long rally. Oh, Damon went right for the throat. She had to try to flip it up with her thumbs, couldn't get there in time. Carroll extends the lead by 2. Able to get to it is McGough. They're on the spot for a lot of these plays. Back set. Playable for the Pios. Pass to the far side. Also getting the tip. These are some long rallies early on in the contest. Setting that one a bit too far is Katie Rowe. Carroll up 6-3. When these two teams played last year, 11 kills for Liv Carroll. Service error gives the point back. We talked about that in the pregame show. Carthage will be more than happy. They know how aggressive Carroll is at the service line, more than content with allowing them to make those service errors.
Absolutely.
But just to bring up some old names to just show where things have come. 3 kills for Katie Rowe. Aubrey Buhager had a kill. Lena Ajabola with 4. Manojlovic had 7. Second on the team to only Liv Carroll. So your 2 main kill getters last year against Carroll back in the lineup. Let's see what they can do. On the flip side, Andre led the way was one of the leaders with 5 kills. Galuski no longer on the squad. Jensen no longer on the squad. So some key players last year on the offensive side, not a Pioneer anymore. They have not missed a beat. And that just shows, you know, every time you say to yourself, oh, that was such a good team, what's going to happen next year? You know what, when you look through the annals and history of sport, there's always other players that come about that are just as good, if not better.
Yep.
Quick set over the middle. Back row. Oh, that looked like it stayed in. Oh, that was close. So they're going to take a timeout. We'll stay here. You might have heard my reaction, and the only reason is, Jill, the near sideline judge pointed in. The far sideline judge pointed out. R2 deferred to the R1. R1 went with the line judge closer to the call. That was out. That was close. And we want to remind everybody here at the Division III level, no replays, so call stands as is. I got to say, I'm not surprised how well Carroll is starting. Again, when you have so many games under your belt, that just shows you're used to the timing of the game, the flow of the game. All this Carthage team has not played in a week. And it was not the result they wanted. And you just saw in the background Coach Ulmer saying, pick it up, pick it up. She needs the pace of this team to pick up. You cannot get down continually set after set. They have the ability to come back. You know, this is a conversation we've had with Coach Ulmer this season is she goes, we know we're rated to be at the top of the CCIW. We got to live up to it. We're the hunted now, so we got to be able to close out. Don't want that right out of the timeout. That was caused by a beautiful serve by the Pioneers. Jenna Damon has to swing the arms in a side bump, sent it right back to the net. Damon, oh, they're changing, excuse me. They're called a net violation, Jill. So change in the call. And the point goes right back. As Jenna Damon looks to check back into the contest, out checks Katie Boston, and the point goes right back. Let me ask you this as a former player yourself. You're a team like Carthage. You know you have the tools and the talent. Right now they're just not piecing each other. What's the conversations you're having in the locker room with your teammates, in class maybe, about how to get back on track?
I mean, it's just a little confusing because we know how good of a team they can be and that they are. It's just that for some reason the last few games they just have seemed a little bit offbeat with each other. So I don't know, it's just a little confusing. They have all the tools that are necessities for coming out with a win tonight, but I think they also have an extra chip on their shoulder tonight, knowing that they're 0-2 at home. They still have yet to win here for the home crowd. And it's conference play, so I think that they're going to want it even more tonight, which will make them play a little more aggressive.
Pass to the near side. Carroll knocks it back. Jenna Naiman with a left hand uppercut. Liv Carroll on the free ball. Quick set over the middle. Block back and in. What a play over the middle for the Firebirds. Outstanding job. Number 17, Ella Pettinger out of Dubuque, Iowa. Firebirds back to within 3, and that's what you need to see if you're a Firebirds fan.
Yep. That was Jenna Damon, correct? With that one arm punch?
Yes.
That's why she is leading the team right now with 116 digs so far in the season.
Yeah, you saw her almost get another one there.
Yeah.
I mean, you say this in the most respectful way. That just shows the type of recruiting that Coach Ulmer does.
Yep.
Jenna Damon could be playing at a D1 level.
Yeah,
there is no question. But Jen Damon liked the culture, the campus, the team, and especially the coaching staff, and said, "This is where I want to spend my college years." And that just shows you how great of a player and institution this is at Carthage. Not to take away from other institutions, but again, it just shows that you can get that type of level to play here at the D3. Nice directional set, setting up the set one. Carroll flat-footed, goes back row. Off the double, Carroll with the mismatching shoes gets the back set again. Tools it through. Bumps chest with Bell, almost knocked her off her feet. But that's got to be a feel-good. That's a make-right type of kill. Back within 2 are the Firebirds. That stays in. Service ace. Manojlovic out of Skokie, Illinois delivers. One-point differential. Manojlovic again. Off the side. Back-to-back service aces. Firebirds have tied it up off the right serving hand of Manojlovic.
That's one of the things that Taylor Vandejut, the assistant coach for Carthage, had mentioned to me earlier. He said that serving was one of their biggest things. If they can get some good serves, they can have a great game.
Another ace for Manojlovic. That's the trifecta. That's 3 in a row. She has 18 on the year. Make that 21 on the season. So Carroll able to get the point back to tie it on a service error, but hey, what a run by Manojlovic.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big help for Carthage, is getting those serves across and making them aces at that.
Bell back sets, Liv Carroll, directional set. Now those are the plays, Jill, that were not falling for the Firebirds in their last 2 losses.
Yeah.
They would try that, it'd go too far, it would go near side. I didn't mean to poke you, I was just like, did you see it?
Oh, I did see it, I'm glad I did.
High pass to the near side, out of play, good again, those were the type of communication plays that weren't happening last week against Concordia. They would try to go for it, neither would go for it, it would drop in as a point. Firebirds on a nice run. Jenna Damon with a power serve to the back row. Libero to McGough. Damon high set. Bell sets far pin. Pios off balance. Nothing you could do if you're McGough. That's going to be a timeout by the Pios. What a run.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And this is what we saw early in the season, Jill, with this Firebird squad, and you kind of expected it. So every time they hit a little bump in the road, you were kind of surprised at the situation. But again, when you look at these past few points, it was 11-7 Pioneers left.
Yeah.
It is a, let's see, 8-1 run right now for Carthage. Talk me through it, Jill. What's the overall situation been, how they've gotten this far?
I think in the beginning, you could see the nerves kind of around the court, and just starting this game, you can see how they were a little bit nervous to start. But I think within the last few points, they found something to just make it start clicking, and now they're in the rhythm of this. So they're communicating well, and they're making smart and quick, aggressive plays on offense and defense. You saw that quick directional play from Liv Carroll, which got them that point. So they're just making a little bit more smarter and quick plays to make it easy for them to get those points.
Again, a big part is weathering the storm. Carthage they were down at one point, think about this, 9-5.
Yeah.
Needed a timeout. Came out of the timeout, and it was a service ace by the Pio. So it was 10-5 after that, and you really just felt the air coming out of the room like, oh no, not again. Carthage found their composure. High set to the near side off the right hand of Carroll. That was some crisp passing and even better kill by Peyton Frost, the outside hitter out of St. John's, Indiana. Very nice pass to the near side. She subs out of play. So kudos to the setter. Had me fooled. I thought she was going to one set in front of her. Back set. No, she went high, two set near pin. Was able to deliver. And a service ace. So the Pioneers now answering back with two quick ones. Number 21, Taylor Raleigh out of Columbus, Wisconsin. Raleigh, 22 service aces, third on the team, excuse me. Nope, second on the team. I can do math. Another point by Carroll. They have tied it up. Well, that must have been a nice conversation in that huddle. My goodness. Bell, high back set to Carroll, falling away. Nice up by McGough. Blocked back in. Nice dig. Bell, far side.
Nice rally.
Far side for Bell. Look at it again, and it stays in. Again, the balls that weren't falling in the past few weeks for the Firebirds, they're doing so tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what one of the main focuses was in practice this entire week and last week, is just knowing where you are on the court and getting your ball and your hits to that spot.
Jenna Damon underneath it. Both teams having used one timeout. Firebirds 1 point lead. McGough high up. Back set by DePiece, the setter. Knocking it through to the other side. Manojlovic, the 10-foot line killer. There is no wall she does not want to break through. Slim lead by the Firebirds.
Manojlovic actually leads her team in kills with 79 coming into tonight with a .211 hitting percentage.
Blocked at the net. The net presence making itself known now for the Firebirds. Carroll down by 3. You got to feel if the Firebirds can get a fourth. Might be another timeout for the Pios. Let's see. Jenna Damon sends that one into the scorer's table. A timeout will be needed. Right now, Rowe, the leading scorer on the court, 4 kills. McGough serves out of South Elgin High School. Trying to break through. Jenna Damon picks up the pieces. Far side. Two illustrious blocks back-to-back by the Pioneers. Carroll within one. High set far side, block couldn't get over in time, rolled up the arms. Congestion near side, punched up, bunch of Pios clumped together. Let's see if they can separate and get the job done. Pass far side, Kebasek, one of the rotational setters in that 6-2 is back into play. Firebirds back up to 2. So again, Bell and Kebasek, the 2 setters. One of the serve specialists now, Cassidy Stahl. Not sure if that's a block. Now, it did not clear. Point goes to Carroll. Kind of saw it from our angle up here in the perch, but when Detweiler swung, I don't believe it made any arm contact with the Pioneers. Carroll backed within 1. Again, the resolve and resiliency of the Pioneers, they being down by a few, not letting set 1 get away. Set near pin. Oh, directional set. They're saying it goes to the Pioneers.
Almost looked like it was right on the line there.
The Firebird faithful not happy about the call. Timeout called by Coach Ulmer. That was close. There's been some close ones on that far side, but again, you got to stick with the official who was right on the spot. We are tied at 19 apiece. We want to thank everybody for being with us this evening on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Jill, big game coming up Saturday in another sport.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
the listeners and viewers what it is.
It is Carthage's first home game of the football season versus North Central at 1 p.m. Peter will be on the call. I will be silent reporting, so tune into that one on Saturday, 1 p.m.
That'll be exciting, you know, adding the element of sideline reporting this year. Such a huge way that the Firebird Broadcasting Network continues to improve. Pre-game show, post-game show, everything in between. Myself, Eric Elger on the call. Again, Jill Ryczek roaming the sidelines, getting all the intel. She is already talked to every player and coach on the team to have all the intel possible. I mean, you know the assistant coach here for volleyball, so I'm just making assumptions.
Football's got a big roster, though, so.
They do. New coach, Coach Pop, coming over from the East Coast. It's a new regime here for Carthage, so make sure you tune into that one. 1 o'clock kickoff. Pre-game show starts 12:45, and that one a service ace out of the timeout. It's so challenging, Jill. It goes straight up to the rafters. It rattles around. It's hard to see where it falls with the white ceiling. Carroll takes the lead within 5 of finishing out set number 1. That's the far side kill you want to see. Go to the bread and butter. Kristina Manojlovic delivering again.
I think that's exactly what Carthage needed just a few plays ago, is for Coach Ulmer to take that timeout, because, you know, they had the lead for a little bit of time, and then it almost looked like they just kind of chilled out a little bit and got comfortable, so Carroll was able to catch up quite a bit, and now it's 20-20, so I think if you're Carthage, just play smart and don't make any errors.
So we have a card issuance. I'm gonna wait and see who it's on. It's on somebody from Carroll. That is not usual to see that happen. Let's see who it's on. We're tied at 20.
I think that was the first card I've ever seen when watching volleyball.
So Katie Boston tries to get to it. It goes just on the back side of the bench. Out of play, good job just getting out of the way as Cassidy Stahl. What a back and forth battle in set one. It almost has the feel, Jill, that whoever wins set one is just going to take the whole thing.
Yeah, but you never know. This could go back and forth and go all the way to 5 sets.
It could. I'm sure both teams would rather have a sweep. And I had the conversation on the drive here with somebody else about volleyball. I said, if I don't get a sweep, just give me the full 5. Give everybody their money's worth. Oh, block back down. What net presence once again by Rebecca Andre, the middle blocker out of Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. One of the key contributors last year for the Pioneers versus Carthage. Pioneers within 3. Carroll gets the tool. When she gets set like that, there is nobody in the CCIW that can stop it.
No.
Again, imagine you're back in the playing days and Liv Carroll's just taking a hack at you.
Oh,
You're
I'd
just
be terrified.
like, just don't hit my face.
Sub
That's
me
what
out.
that's what I would say. Service error by Manojlovic. Substitutions. Super quick story. One of my friends, a high school volleyball coach, she let me come to a practice one day and said, Pete, try a few reps, see what it's like. This is against high school players. And she then lined me up to block against a player that had a full ride to Illinois State at the D1 level. And she sent just a missile at me. I said, yep, that'll do it. That's why I was a libero back in my time.
Oh, yeah.
Put me back there. Do not get me close to the net. Tied at 23 apiece. Liv Carroll getting the tool. Jenna Damon, what a back and forth heavyweight battle. No other way you want to start the CCIW play. Damon on the spot. Bell, far side double block, clears it. Oh, what a good job on the free ball by the Pioneers. Carroll, directional set. Digging underneath is McGough. Damon keeps it alive, long rally again. Rolling off the back, she tried to set it. Number 6, Peyton DePiece. Timeout by the Pioneers, and this is as evenly matched as of a first set you're going to see, folks. Carthage 1 point away from match set. Pioneers use their second and final timeout. Carthage is going to have the serve. Now let me ask you this from a strategy standpoint. If you're the Pioneers, knowing you cannot allow for a service ace because then the match is over, do you position differently?
Yeah, I would say you get in zone where you are covering the entire court and you really, really, really have to focus on communication in returning that serve so it doesn't drop and 2 people don't collide and try to go at it at the same time. Communicate and know where your feet are on the court.
That's a good way to put it. I was thinking something similar as well. As we look over on the CCIW standings right now, Carthage 5-2. Carroll again 13 wins already on the season, but North Park, the top dog again, 8-0 overall. North Park, always one of the top teams in the CCIW. Looking to pick up where they left off last year once they hit conference play as well. The fans from Tarble on their feet. Can the Firebirds take set 1 in Kenosha? Damon serves right hand on the hop. Service ace! Pulled the ace out of her sleeve. All smiles are the Firebirds. Exactly how you want to start things out if you're Carthage. Can the Pioneers bounce back and tie it at 1 apiece? We will find out when we come back on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
The Aspire program is part of the Aspire Center, and the Aspire Center is our 4-year career and professional development program here at Carthage College. The Aspire program is really different and unique from other colleges and universities' career programs because instead of what the typical experience is of senior year trying to go get a job or an experience after college, we want students to build their experiences starting from day 1. So whether that means going and finding an alumni panel that they're going to learn from an alumni about the career industry that they're excited about, or if it means getting an internship or research experience that's going to build their portfolio, we want the students to develop and learn who they are so they can really leave Carthage with a very good sense of purpose and understanding before they actually leave the college. Every student that comes to Carthage has their own individual career specialist. This is a person who specializes in the industry field that they're going into. For example, we have a career specialist for our arts, communication, and culture students. This is a person who's been working as a graphic designer for the past 20 years, and she's responsible for helping those students get opportunities and experiences along the way.
I landed my first internship as a freshman at Deloitte, which is #1 of the Big 4 accounting firms in the world. Through the Aspire program, I was able to develop skills that helped me in interviews as well as networking with other professionals.
We're back, Firebird Broadcasting Network. For Jill Ryczek, I'm Peter Ferreri. Teams have switched sides. Pios lost 25-23 with a service ace from Jenna Damon. Can the Pios start off strong? They can. Big kill. Kylie Wittenbell out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Jill, let me ask you this. I know this may be a hard one to answer, but what do the Pioneers have to do to try to equalize this at one apiece?
I mean, I don't know, because I think they were playing very well the first set as well as Carthage. They were pretty much evenly matched. I mean, looking at the kills, Carthage had 14 and Carroll had 11. Their hitting percentage was 152 and Carthage was 167, so they're pretty much even on attacking. So I think they just really got to make their smart plays and limit their errors per usual.
Over the tip, up at the net, high off the double tip. Bell goes back corner, swatted away. Free ball. Pioneers able to get to all the free ball opportunities. Firebirds back set. Carroll bomb. Back dump. The rarity, but Bell able to sniff it out. Back set slide. Jenna Damon can't get there. Wow, that's one of the longest rallies you'll see all season, and that favored the Pioneers. Set to the 10-foot line, rolled over by Manojlovic. Quick one set, beautiful quick set by DePiece again. Carroll starting off strong. It's been all DePiece with the crisp setting, really putting it where the defenders of the Firebirds aren't. Blocked back in, Damon with the bump. Carroll falling away, reading it out in the back row was Rousey. Left Left hand uppercut, outstanding play by Rally. That stays in. These two rallies are longer than half the first set. Wow.
Yeah, I want to know what was said in both of these huddles in between sets.
So Jenna Damon, the junior, do you have any classes with her?
I do not.
Back set, Bell, Carroll swings. Quick one set over the middle. Right now, absolute locked in is Peyton DePeace out of Germantown, Wisconsin. Her setting is next level in this second set. She's now back to serve. Bell keeps it in. That goes out of play. That might be an early timeout by Coach Ulmer coming soon.
Yeah, we called it.
Well, when you get to a situation where it's not just errors,
Yeah.
but long rallies that are favoring your opponent, and it keeps going their way, stop it now. Stop it now. So while we got a moment, Jill, let's go through some of the key stats on the evening so far. What stood out to you?
Well, they're actually pretty even amongst most of the stats for serving aces and service errors as well. Carthage has 4 for both, and Carroll has 3 for both, so they're pretty even when it comes to serving. Again, with the hitting, Carthage has taken 61 total attacks, and Carroll has taken 57, so they're both being aggressive on both sides of the net. But I think Carroll, what's different between the first and the second set is if you take a look on their defense next play, they seem to be spread out a bit more, which was within the first set, that was kind of their downfall, is they were just a little clumped together and not able to get those balls that went far apart, and now they're able to, so I think that's a big thing for them, is just to spread out on defense.
5-1 your score for Pete and Jill on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Service error, and that's how you get a point right out of a timeout. They just give it to you.
If you're Carthage, you really want to capitalize on this and try to not only catch up, but maybe take the lead. You got to go on a bit of a run here, though.
So out checks Bell, in checks Kebasek, back to back. Into serve as well. A 6 rotation setter. Far side. Back set. Off the tip, Gemma Damon. Self-preservation for DePeace, not able to keep it down. Firebirds 2 in a row. You already said it, Jill. They're capitalizing like you thought they would. It's like you played the sport before. Looking to the far pin for the Pios. Damon on the spot again. Oh, pushing through, number 9, Katie, More Than a Feeling, Boston. Did you do your homework since last game?
Oh, no. What was it?
Go listen to that song.
Aerosmith? Or what was it?
Boston,
Oh.
More Than a Feeling. I sent you the Spotify link.
Oops, I did
No,
not see
oops.
that.
All right, well, I'll see you in 48 hours, so we'll try again this weekend. That stays in, and the Firebirds on a 4-0 run. What a turn of events for Carthage. I could resend you the link if you need to. We text so often that it's probably buried. Jenna Damon, a nice back pass. Carroll Kebasek, an outstanding job on that cross alley. Boston couldn't get to it, and that could have been disastrous. Katie Rowe tried a soccer kick with the left foot, just went by the forehead of Jenna Damon, and that would not have felt good. It's legal, but would not have felt good. Kebasek near side, just out of play. Good call by the line judge. He's kind of nodding his head, because if it's, you got to look at it like this. The line judge is out of play. So if it makes contact or is about to make contact with the line judge, it's out.
Yeah.
That's why they don't stand in the field of play. Tip call, Pioneers weathered the storm, had it tied at 5 apiece, found 3 in a row now. A reverse run. Able to keep it in play now. Oh, good job by Carthage to come away with it. Off the tip. Right now, 8 kills by Katie Rowe. Stahl into serve. The serve specialist for this Firebird squad. Back row player. Blocked back into play. What a beautiful job over the middle. Katie Boston,
Yeah, Katie
absolutely feeling it.
She leads the team in blocks with 21 coming into tonight. Behind her with 9 is Katie Rowe. So if you're Carthage, you want both the Katies just up at the net and blocking.
It's a Katie party, and we're invited to watch. Looking far, pin, uppercut Boston. Joust still alive. Kabasek near side, tries the rollover. Out of play. Point goes to Carroll. Such long rallies, but it seemed for the most part, today at least speaking, the long rallies are favoring the Pioneers ever so slightly. I still can't get over that they have 13 wins on the season already. Oh, that stays in. The missile for the Firebirds.
Even if those 13 or 15 games, they're 13-2, even if those 13 wins were to have been losses, still coming into tonight, that's the more reps that that team would have. So it's, you automatically get the upper hand with that.
Boston service error. Not to take away from what the Firebirds have been doing, there hasn't been one player per se taking over the game. It's a diversified approach. Yeah. Left-hand serve, Ashley Miller out of Manhattan, Illinois, Lincoln Way West. My daughter has a friend whose family just moved to Manhattan, so I know where that is. About an hour and 15-hour 20 straight south of Chicago. Past your Frankfurts. Diving dig by Bell. That goes out of play. Carthage thought they got a tip. Back to a 2-point lead by the Pioneers. Into serve 26. Sam Miserandino out of Wabansie Valley, the right hand. Double block, oh, just right on the spot. Good job, Stahl. The Carroll bomb gets blocked and sent back home. What net presence by Rebecca Andre out of Sevastopol High School. To the near side, Liv Killmonger Carroll gets another one. Firebirds back within 2. A quiet 5 kills. Can that be the catalyst now for the Firebirds? Service error for Manojlovic. Those are those gimme points that you don't want to become a trend for the Firebirds.
Yep.
6 service errors now for Carthage. That hits the antenna. We may need a second timeout soon. So creating a gap on the left side. Let's see where they aim. Back right, Jenna Damon on the spot. Nice up by Andre. Falling away, out of play. Too much of an angle. I get the idea Carroll had. They wanted to play the angle, but took it a little too close to the net.
Yep.
Set far pin, coiling up. Too far again by Peyton Frost out of Hanover Central.
That's one of the biggest and most necessary skills you need to have if you're going to be an athlete playing in volleyball. You need to have self-awareness, especially on the court, and know where you are at all times.
Firebirds raining on me. Jenna Damon to serve. Katie Boston delivering again. Boston, daughter of Lynn and Paul, a graphic design major. Net violation. We're tied up at 14 apiece. Carroll wanted to get just that half step in front of a Carroll bomb. Weren't able to do anything about it. Back to service, Damon. Bell directional set. That was about to go out of play, but McGraw was already sliding on the ground. Hard to make. Again, I don't want to take away from her effort. When you think it's going to be close, you got to go for it.
Absolutely. Better to be safe than sorry.
It is a 5-0 run for the Firebirds. Ace! Jenna Damon out of Durand, Illinois. Timeout called by the Pioneers. Needing to stop the action. Jenna Damon, daughter of Bill and Sandy, an accounting major. 3-time All-Conference selection, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time MVP, regional and sectional championship team while a freshman.
Wow.
That's a good player. That shows how she was able to come in her freshman year here 2 years ago and play so well. While we have a moment, let's talk about the upcoming schedule for the visiting Pioneers. After today's contest, they head to the WLC Triangular Invitational, where they take on Wisconsin Lutheran College, then Lake Forest, both this Friday. Then Saturday, they take on the dreaded Concordia University, Wisconsin, who defeated this Firebird squad last week.
Yep.
And then a week from today, they welcome Millikan University to Decatur, or they head to Decatur, to take on Millikan in CCIW action. In terms of the Firebirds, after today, they head to the Pointers Invitational, taking on Concordia College in the Minnesota Concordia College in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Then they take on University of Wisconsin Stevens Point before taking on University of Wisconsin River Falls. And they're back here next Wednesday, North Central. That one goes out of play. Point goes to the Firebird. Preliminary shout out. North Central's new head volleyball coach, Ray Gooden, a personal friend of mine.
Okay.
Going to be excited to see him, but biases aside, once the game is under action, just with all Ray's gone through in his life personally, I am beyond happy that he's back courtside coaching once again, doing what he loves. Carroll trying to claw back. Yeah, North Central football Saturday, North Central volleyball next Wednesday. Whew. The battle of the red birds, or birds that are red. Over the middle, Katie Boston delivering again. Two-time Missouri All-Academic Team, two-time All-Conference selection. As a freshman, 104 sets with 119 kills, 105 kills last year. Such competitor. Nice dig by Carroll, just couldn't get it to where it needed to go. Firebirds, that momentum, Jill, really shifting in their favor.
Yep. For the majority of the first two sets, it's just been going back and forth, but now you can start to see Carroll gets a lead for a little bit, and then they turn it over, and then Carthage has the lead for a little bit, and they're pulling away a little bit more.
So right now, Carthage, not to sound cliche, they just need to stay the course.
Yep.
They force the Pioneers to have to serve where you are. They can't be, I mean, they can always be as aggressive as they want from the service line. Jenna Damon able to pick it up. Kebasek, tool kill. Massive play by Katie Rowe. Yet again, the pride of the Astros, Shepherd High School in Palos, Illinois. Daughter of Don and Tracy, a allied health science major. Her high school team captain. Pios get the point back to within 3. I was never captain of anything. Intramurals, but that's, you know.
Hey, that counts.
That's because I went to the store and bought a patch.
You still got it. You
Yeah.
still got the title.
Set over the middle on the slide. Carroll within 2. Firebirds need to get the momentum back on their side. This is one of the players you want serving, McGough. Set over the middle. Boston down. Boston kill. Welcome to the Boston Tea Party. Firebirds 4 away. Danielson in. She got a lot of playing time last Wednesday in that second and third set, making her appearance now. Over the tip, nice dig, McGough. Free ball, Kebasek side bump on the free ball to keep it alive. Slide, right elbow to keep it up. McGough passes. Nice job by the Prios breaking through. Rousey, hailing from Denver, Colorado. Let me ask you this. Let's play hypotheticals.
All right.
If Carroll gets another point, do you call the timeout if you're Carthage within 1? Do you wait for them to see if they tie it?
I don't know. I almost want to say wait until they either tie it or get a point ahead of you.
Okay.
Just to slow things down a bit.
Well, there's the within a point.
There you go.
And there's the within a point. Yeah, you just got to kind of look at it right now. You really had momentum in your favor, and the next thing you know, not that you per se did anything wrong, but the passing of Carroll really put the hitters in a good position to be able to deliver. Want to remind everybody, follow Carthage Athletics all across social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all at Carthage Sports, and then at Twitter X at Carthage Sports. So Carthage Athletics on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and then Carthage Sports on Twitter X. I still feel if I say just X.
I was gonna say, is anyone ever gonna call it X? Why they do the name change that?
Well, the funny thing is it's still called a tweet. So if you send out a message, you are still tweeting on X. It is what it is. The algorithms are going to find me now.
Peter Ferreri, everybody.
Yeah, there we go. Firebirds need 4 to take 2 sets and get that 2-0 lead. Carroll has been on a very nice run of late to get back into it very quickly post-haste. Side bump by Manojlovic. Quiet second set for her. Back set on an angle. We're tied.
Might have been a little bit of miscommunication there, not knowing who's going to get that one.
Yeah, Ava Detweiler, who's in the rotation right now, stuck a hand out. She had a teammate right behind her. Out of play, gimme point.
All right, I don't want to jinx anything, but if you're Carthage, you really want to try your hardest to not make any errors on your side of the court and just play smart, but also be aggressive and just try to get these next 3 points.
A 5-1 run by Carroll. 6-1 on the service error. That's tough. Those gimme points are just tough either way. I know she was trying to really catch him off guard. The whole, the receiving line was shifted near sideline. Bell, Carroll. Back set, falling away, rolls it over. Chance for Carroll to take the lead. Punched up by Damon. Bell on the spot from the back row. Carroll has to roll it over again. Through the block, Bell can't get there. What a run for the Pioneers. They were near the end.
Yep.
They were down by 3.
They did not give up.
Did not give up.
They're in it.
Bell to Carroll. Free ball. Can this set up the offense now for the Firebirds? Directional set. What a play defensively on the scramble for the Pioneers. Oh, look at this again. Pioneers doing everything they can to keep the rally going. Bell, Carroll, down. Can't stop.
No,
Liv Carroll.
If you're Carthage, all you have to do is feed Liv Carroll the ball, because last week she registered her 1,000. I can't say the word 1,000.
Yeah, you got it.
Career kill in last week's match. She's the 18th student athlete in Carthage's history to cross that milestone.
Damon. Are they going to feed Bell? No, they go near side. Net violation called on the Pioneers. A rare mistake by the Pioneers. We are exactly, Jill, where we were in set 1. The Firebirds up by 1, 24-23. Pioneers using their second and final timeout. Last time, Jenna Damon came out a serve of all serves and won at 25-23. Let me ask this. If you're Carthage, regardless of who comes in to serve, do you play the aggressive serve game, or do you be a little bit more conservative so you don't give them the point and then automatically know you're sending it to extras?
That's tough. You just got to find that happy medium. You got to, maybe instead of hitting it as hard as you can, just focus on the placement rather of the ball, so you can hit it over however you want. Just don't use all your power, because then it'll just go out. So just focus on where you're placing that ball. You got to be able to read that defense on the other side of the court and place your ball where they are.
Already a different style of Firebirds volleyball we've seen today than we did the last 2 losses. Here we go. Manojlovic. In play, and oh, they got there. Oh, they just got there. Thought we had an ace. Bell, backs it. Carroll, still alive. Bell, Damon, Manojlovic, winding up. Can they get there? They do. Oh, what a rally. Near side, Rowie. A dig by the Pioneers. Back row, no touch, out of play. Point goes Firebirds. What a way to end it. Put that on the highlight reels for the season. Every free ball opportunity they took advantage of. The Firebirds now up 2-0 against the visiting Pioneers. Can they get the home sweep to start conference play, or will the Pioneers find their way back? We'll find out when we come back on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
Being a student athlete at Carthage, you get the best of both worlds, honestly. You get to learn, grow in the classroom, and then also be a part of the sport that you fall in love with since you've been playing it. You get the one-on-one support from the teachers, and then you get the help from your teammates.
The athletics teams here at Carthage, they're like really good. Some of the achievements that we had during this past year, the volleyball team won the national championship 2 times in a row, like 2 days in a row. So it was incredible to see it because we are like a unit. So it's really nice like to have everyone together cheering for each other.
So the athletic facilities at Carthage, they're new and improving each and every year. We have the baseball, softball, and football field that athletes compete on. There is the Tark, which houses the baseball weight room. There's the actual gymnasium itself, so Tarble Arena for men's, women's basketball, volleyball. And then obviously the swimming pool that is also in the Tark. And upstairs there's the field house. We've added the Nest, which is a recovery room for all of our student athletes. There's massage guns, there's granola bars, there's other food items. So we have a lot of nice things in that room that you can sign up, take it, and it's completely for free. There's so many great opportunities. The athletic staff's super kind, the coaches care about you. There's just so much that goes into being a student athlete that it's an experience I would not take back.
Welcome back, Manojlovic, a key contributor to that huge set victory. Block over the middle. Firebirds picking up right where they left off with that early point. Let's play scenarios now. Again, it's Jill Ryczek alongside yours truly, Peter Ferreri. Jill, if you're the Pioneers, what do you have to start with? Because you were so close, you were literally as close as it could be in sets 1 and 2. What do you have to do to turn the tide in this set?
I think you need to attack a bit more and just communicate better. They did a great job of that in the first set especially, and then the second set started to look a little bit off, but again, they were able to keep up with Carthage, going back and forth just about every point. But I think you really need to play aggressive in this set, otherwise Carthage will walk away with a sweep.
Out of play, another point to the Firebirds. Just to recap some of the numbers coming into this third set. Wittenbell, 6 kills, 5 for Rousey, 4 for Williams. Quietly getting to that point, I guess you could say. On the flip side for the Firebirds, 8 kills by Liv Carroll. Rowe with 11. Boston for Manojlovic with 5. Bell, high back set for Carroll again. I don't want to look forward and say Carthage is going to miss Liv Carroll next year, but Carthage is going to miss Liv Carroll next year. But that goes to show what Coach Ulmer has told us all season, that she has told her team, the time is now.
Yeah.
You are all at your absolute best. You're at your peak.
Yep.
Senior leadership. You got the skill set. You got to believe in yourself and finish. As we see there on the outside, Katie Rowe again. Rowing down the river. Jenna Damon. You will have to find out, too. We have the complete rainbow colors of shoes amongst the sideline.
Oh, well, look at that. Yeah, everyone's got a different color.
Red,
Wow.
blue, pink. Some purple. Orange, yeah. Liv Carroll doing the 1-1. I don't see any green. Green doesn't necessarily go. I mean, it does kind of go with those colors.
Might be a little Christmas.
I was just going to say, happy holidays. Walking by the broadcast booth now is head men's volleyball coach J.W. Keykafer. I tried to say hi to him earlier, and he completely ghosted me, Jill. I was walking in. I'm like, oh, hey, coach, how are you? Just blank stared. He must not have recognized me. We'll just put it as
Not
that.
without the headset on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, who are you? Oh, once the microphone's in front of your face, now I recognize why I don't like you. Got it. 5-3 your score. Again, J.W. Keykafer, the head coach of the men's volleyball team, multiple time back-to-back national champion. I still joke that I was expecting a ring from that, but one day. They keep saying, okay, well, when we win a third one, you'll get a ring. Okay.
All right.
I'll hold them to it.
Get that in writing.
I should. That should be a contractual obligation, Jill. Nice one set over the middle. Kapasek on the spot again. Damon back sets it. Near pin, out of play. Firebirds get the point. Now let me put it this way. These type of points that Carthage is getting is what they were giving against their loss to Chicago.
Yes. Yeah.
Giving against their loss to Concordia, Wisconsin. They're finding the line. They're playing within themselves. They're not getting too frazzled. Katie Boston is delivering huge blows like that, causing an early timeout by Carroll. Usually Carroll waits a bit longer in the night or longer in the set. They do not here. 8-3 your score. Firebirds really taking a grip here on set number 3. As we look now, let's look, Jill, at some of the recap match numbers.
Yeah, now you can see that Carthage with the lead 8-3, they're starting to pull away a bit in their stats. For example, for total attacks, Carthage is up to 113 throughout the night, and Carroll is at 100 right now. For kills, Carthage has pulled away to 34, and Carroll's down to 21. So you can see who has the more aggression right now. Things could change. You never know what Carroll has up their sleeve, and coming out of this huddle, what the coach might tell them to do differently. But as of right now, Carthage looks to be pulling away just a bit.
Appreciate you being with us again. We will be back in the broadcast booth this Saturday, North Central College, the home opener in NCAA college football. Very excited for it, just as I am for all the broadcasts, but first of the season, a lot of excitement.
A lot of new things.
Exactly, the North Central squad, very good. Coach Pop, had a long conversation with him on Monday of this week, and ultimately he's like, look, I just want to make sure my team gives the best effort they can. He goes, I know it's kind of cliche. That one tips off of Jenna Damon. She was trying to give a right uppercut, wasn't able to get there. But ultimately he said, despite the outcome, we're a new team, we're a young team. He said, we're looking to find ourselves, but we are going to give our all, and if we can say we grew because of the outcome of the game and grew during the game, then I got out of it what we needed.
And you know, as a player, that's all you can ask for as a new head coach is just having the faith and the understanding of being a new team, and you know, there's not too much pressure from the coach.
Play over the middle, getting some playing time now is Marcy Wente for the Firebirds. Wente, a freshman out of Indianola, Iowa. That stays in. And again, up 2 sets to nothing. Up by 5. This is a good point to get some of those younger players into rotation.
Again, when the Carroll defense looked a little bit clumped up there, so I think that's their downfall is when they get a little clumped up and not as spread out on defense, they aren't able to get to those balls that are in the corner.
Sending it a bit too far. The lane was there for Lizzie Williams, the freshman out of Huntley, Illinois. So different players on both teams getting some reps now here in set number 3. First game of the conference play. Firebirds would love nothing more than to come away with a home sweep. Janet Damon, my goodness. Manojlovic, Damon, oh! The dolphin dive that Damon does. How about that? Say that, the dolphin dive that Damon does is absolutely textbook. Back row, tip in the back row. Firebirds get the point. That wasn't a bad call if you're the Pioneers. Kind of shrugging her shoulders, understandably so, is Taylor Raleigh, because again, she was already dropping down to a knee. It was going to drop potentially in. You don't want to take that risk. Service error sending that out of play. Number 6, Maddie Danielson, the junior out of Geneva Community High School. As they're waiting for the okay to sub Katie Boston back in. Serve to get things underway. Just going out of play. Pioneers get the point, down by 5. Now we've seen many times the Pioneers able to find their way back, so you cannot count them out at all.
Not at all.
Kebisek going far side. Ho ho! Manojlovic bringing the thunder. Or you could say setting the court on fire here in Tarble Arena. Again, when you look at young players, Manojlovic, a sophomore, the fact that she plays such a good role, a big role, key contributor to this team, that just shows that cycle that Coach Ulmer has, finding good players year after year.
Yeah, and again, Manojlovic is a sophomore with 7 kills tonight. She's up there with Katie Rowe and Liv Carroll, both being seniors at the top of the kills tonight. So she's up there with seniors, even though she's an underclassman, she's up there with them.
Devin Bell in now out of Lindenhurst, Illinois. The 6-foot senior setter in the offseason helps out a lot with the athletics department. Stats, scoreboard. No tip called. Good job trailing that out of the back row were the Pioneers on that play.
Way to follow the ball for the Pioneers, but just a little bit too much power on that pass.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. That's a situation where, you know, in other circumstances, they may have gone for it, let it go this time. Carroll getting the chainsaw kill. Right now, Carthage is more than happy going 1 for 1 the rest of the way. Pios need a run. And I don't want to say this is uncharted waters for the Pioneers. But again, when you look at their recent games, Hamlin 3-1. Alverno 3-0 sweep. St. Scholastica 3-0 sweep. St. Mary's a 3-1 victory. 3-0 sweep against St. Norbert. The last time they went 5 was against Central College in De Pere, and that was a 3-2 victory. They're used to winning.
Yes.
Manojlovic on the side bump. That stays in. Manojlovic kind of was flat-footed. I don't want to say he wasn't in the right spot, but kind of was crept a bit toward that 10-foot line.
Yeah, just such a quick hit. It was a little hard to get there.
Bell back set to Carroll over the double tip. Set to the far side, picked up in the back row. Oh, Rowie, nice pickup by the Pioneers. Oh, out of play. Oh, double hit called. The rarity these days. Got to give credit, though, to Sam Miserandino, keeping that alive, that freshman, playing right at the 10-foot line, outstanding up on the run. Lead down to 3. Oh, my word. Alla Pettinger says, thank you, next. Woo.
Yep, Carthage just has to keep doing that for the rest of the set, and they might come away with their first home win.
Nice slide, but Manojlovic picks up the pieces. Bell, far pin. Nice back set. Damon couldn't get to it. I spoke to a coach earlier today, the head coach of University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, just about strategy and seasons and stuff, and she said, Peter, the last thing you want is to be in a winning set, so like right now the Firebirds are, and give it away.
Yeah.
She said, it's one thing if you win one and they win one. She said, complete different mindset. She said, oh, nice push through by the Firebirds. She said, if you are in the set where if you win the match, she said, you never want it to go one more. She said, because there's nothing more defeating than losing that set than losing the whole match. Yeah. And that's where Carthage is right now. Kebasek back to serve. Ace is the place. Kebasek delivers. Kebasek coming in, only 5 aces coming into the contest. That stays in. Pios still within striking distance. Trailing by 4, they need a 2-for-1 deal. They need to start it now.
This is a tough spot for both teams right now. Carroll's probably thinking they need to do anything they can to catch up to Carthage. But Carthage is thinking, hey, we can't lose our lead. We just got to play smart.
Yeah, and that's a service ace by the Pioneers. I almost feel, and usually I'm wrong, but if the Pioneers get to 15, Coach Ulmer may call an earlier timeout. Last time it was 1 point.
Okay.
She may not let get this one past 2. Let's see what happens here. Quick, Boston said, Pete, no need for a timeout. I'm going to invite you to the block party. Carthage, 7 away. Deep breaths before the delivery, Cassidy stalled. High back set. Out of play it goes. Firebirds aren't able to get there. Carroll back to within 3. Now I will change my tune this time if Carroll gets it within 2 because of how that last one was. I don't feel a timeout. but it all depends how things are received from one Ashley Miller. Oh, nice up by Damon. Not able to get there in time as Wente.
Good effort.
Carthage's lead cut down to 2. This is the run that happened at this point in set number 2. For Carthage fans, lucky for them, they pulled it out. Oh, nice up. Boston over the middle, Damon. Back set. Kabasek. Damon passes behind. Manojlovic at the net, resetting up now. Kabasek, the quit one for Boston! And the Pioneers can't get there. A much needed point by the Firebirds. Hustle award once again. Who else? Jenna Damon. Firebirds within 6. Miller over the middle. Kabasek, no libero in right now for the Firebirds. Punch up, still alive, falling away. Oh, just great placement. Boston was isolated in the back row, couldn't get there.
Well, Peter, since you're the timeout calling king, what do you think? When do you think
well,
next timeout
now
will be?
I think if it's tied, they'll call it. I don't think 1 point's enough right now. It depends how it I was going to say, if they got an ace, I'd call a timeout.
They both have 2 timeouts remaining, correct?
I believe Carroll called one early on when it was 8-3.
Okay.
We'd have to go back in the record. So I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Carroll called an early one, but I don't think Carthage has.
Yeah, I believe Carthage still has their 2. Back set. No tip. Coach Ulmer saying, let's go, let's go. She wants him to immediately get back to the service line and go. Don't slow down. Get your celebration in, of course.
Yeah.
But don't,
so close.
don't mosey back to the line.
So
Bell. Oh, nice job by Bell. Had me fooled, overset, dropped it to Manojlovic. Firebirds on a run.
I think this is the closest Carthage has been to a win at home so far in this moment.
So you got your closest close win by Carthage College at home. I have my great deep dolphin dive by Damon. That one goes out of play. Now's the time if you're Carthage. Some fans already getting on their feet. Bell to deliver. Firebirds need 2. Blocked back. Carroll tries to tip it over. Hitting it into the net. We are at match point. Can the Firebirds get the home sweep against the 13-2 visiting Pioneers?
Which would be the first win at home of their season so far.
It won't happen there. Pioneers will not go gently into the night. Set to Carroll. Carroll with a mere flick of the wrists sends it into the double block of the Pioneers. They were expecting something hard. She went soft. It went out of play. And the match goes to the Firebirds. Jill, before we send it to break, again, stick around, everybody, for the post-game show. Head coach Ulmer will join us up in the booth to talk about the home victory and start of CCIW play. Let's get some thoughts, Jill, really quickly on your end. What did the Carthage Firebirds do tonight to come away with a sweep against a very good Carroll team?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a great game coming into this match tonight because not only is Carroll a great team with plenty of games under their belt so far this season, but Carthage also had an extra chip on their shoulder because they had something to prove to Carthage that, you know, we can get this win at home for you guys. They were 0-2 at home coming into tonight. Now they finally got a sweep at home, and I think what really helped them is just attacking and feeding Liv Carroll the ball, and Katie Rowe as well. Katie Rowe ended the night with 13 kills, Liv Carroll with 12. Christina Manojlovic only a few behind with 9 kills, so they were very aggressive on offense, and I think that's what really pushed them to win tonight.
We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, the post-game show, Coach Ulmer will join us on the Firebird Broadcasting Network once again. The sweep, Firebirds over the Pios. We'll be right back. And welcome into the post-game show here on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. For Jill Ryczek, I'm Peter Ferreri. Coach Ulmer joining us now. Coach, a much different conversation in tone as you throw your hands up in a V. I mean, we were talking about it in the pregame show. Our conversation after University of Chicago was, you know what, good team, we were close, we can improve. Last week on Cordy, Wisconsin, much different tone. Don't quite know what happened. What happened in this past week? You beat a team with 13 wins on the season in a sweep.
That stung last week, right? That was not a very good performance from us mentally or physically. So, you know, we worked really hard this week to get ourselves in better position, and we did a lot of really good things when the set was tight at 20s. The first two were just, you know, nail biters, right? We found a way to get that final push and get those points, and I'm really proud of them. I thought our passing held up really well. We started to get some really important kills right there at the end, and we finally started to get some blocks as the match progressed. But I think a lot of key to it was our serving. We served very aggressive tonight. I thought they did a really nice job.
So after last week's loss, you said the team didn't quite look like themselves, hitting and serving wise, like you just said. Was tonight's game a more accurate representation of Carthage women's volleyball?
Well, I certainly hope so. Yeah, and I think we can even do better. You know, give Carroll a ton of credit. They've got a lot of new pieces on that team, and they fought really hard. I mean, they have a really nice looking team that's had a lot of success this year. You know, so they made us work really hard, and I think, you know, and I'm just really proud of us for responding the way we did. So, you know, you've got to get a few of those. You know, we want to be fearless. We want to be aggressive. You can't worry about the win and the loss. It's about how you go about your business. And we did a lot of really good things. I thought Katie Rowe and Liv Carroll were excellent tonight. Liv Carroll was in fuego, right? I mean, she was so smart. She used every tool in the toolbox. It was super, super impressive. She was out there. She was in it to win it. Yeah. I mean, both of them were just super competitive. I thought her setters, we were coming up a little bit short on the sets in the first set, but I thought we did a much better job. And then we got our middles going. Katie Boston got going a little bit, and I think that kind of, you know, opened things up for us.
Yeah.
You know, and they did a really good job on the right side. We got to clean that up a little bit. We didn't stop their right side as much as I'd like us to, but you know, we'll get back to the drawing board on that and work on that piece. But a ton of positives tonight for sure.
Yeah. You just mentioned Katie Rowe and Liv Carroll. Liv Carroll had 12 kills and Katie Rowe had 13. You know, you have such a deep roster of upperclassmen. What does that mean to you to have Christina Manojlovic being a sophomore, keeping up with those seniors with 9 kills tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Tina's impressive, right? Some of those kills were like, woo!
Yeah.
You know, she just hits the ball really hard, and she wants to go for it. So, you know, sometimes she brings it down to the block. So we've just been working on trying to to keep those, go higher in their hands and try to, expand the court that way. But, I think we have seniors. I want them to lead more, and I think they've done a really good job this week. They've come in extra for extra work. All those little things teams need to do, and it's only going to get tougher, from here on out. So we're going to have to continue to keep doing those things and keep lifting each other up.
So next week, of course, you're back home. But let's talk about this weekend. Nice little tournament, non-con again. What are you looking to accomplish out of this weekend? Is it get some more players in, some more reps, or keep that starting squad and rep away?
Yeah, I think you just want to build on it, right? You want to build on what happened tonight. If you get the opportunity to get some more kids in. Ava Detweiler's been so good for us, and she had a tough night tonight. And she's been out with a little bit of an injury, so it'll be great to get her back. We just want her to keep her head up. She's a really good athlete. Macy Winty came in, and another freshman came in and did a really nice job for us. So, we just have to keep building them up as we go through it. And I'm really proud of her and proud of our team around her to keep supporting and lifting each other up. So this weekend, UW Stevens Point's always a handful. Yeah. And we're in their home gym. We play them the second match of the night on Friday. These are just real testers, and it's what you need because North Central is a very, very good team. Yeah. They're going to be coming in here. We just need to be competing all the time. We just need to be pushed. Yeah. And I thought mentally we had a much better mindset tonight, right from the get-go. Yeah. And we just always have to have that. And teams love. You see how hard they play when they're in Tarble. I mean, they're throwing their bodies. It looks like the ball is down, and here it comes again. Yeah. So many of those plays tonight, and that's just that's the strength of our conference. Absolutely. Well, Coach, congrats on the win. Go celebrate, and then we'll see you back here in a week. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Again, that was Coach Ulmer. Jill, final thoughts off of what Coach said. So much truth to that. The team, you felt it when it was a kill, when it was a dig, when it was a set, just absolutely felt more confident tonight to deliver, whether they got the point or not.
Yeah, something I was watching during the game that Coach Ulmer just mentioned is when you think that a ball might be out of play or it's going to hit the ground, here it comes again on Carthage's side. They don't give up, and they just keep going until they get the point. You saw Jenna Damon just hit the floor. No matter what, she's always thrown her body onto the court to be able to get that point, and that just shows the grit, the determination, and the athleticism within Carthage's team. Well, again, looking at some of the overall numbers, Carthage ending 186 on the kill percentage side, 10 more assists, 1 more ace, few more service errors, but they were more aggressive at the line, even with 2 blocks, 7 more digs. Again, your final 3-0, the sweep, the Firebirds over the visiting Pioneers. We want to thank you all for joining us this evening, each and every one of you for tuning in. Again, we have football this Saturday, so make sure you tune in for that. For executive producer Mike Love, producer John Voinovich, for the rest of the staff and crew, Laura, Ryder, and Matt. Great job directing graphics, replay, and camera. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a presentation of Firebird Broadcast Productions and Carthage College, copyright 2024. Your final, Carthage 3, Pio 0. For Jill Ryczek, I'm Peter Ferreri. Have a good rest of your night, everybody.